Week 3 of the XFL was easily the league's most fun series of games that we've had to this point. 3 out of 4 games went down to the wire, and the stars showed up in a very big way. Saturday's only game was between 2 winless teams, but if you skipped it, bro, you missed the best game of the year. Maybe you're thinking the game was only good because both of the teams was bad. Not the case. Both of these teams' records are very misleading. Vegas has probably held the lead for like 75% of their on-field play time, but they struggle to close games. And I said just last week, besides this year's Bengals, the Sea Dragons was the best 0-2 team that I had seen. Both rosters feature former NFL guys in key spots, and this was just a week where they finally put it together. It was crazy because that game had all the makings of a snooze fest. First off, they was playing in these crazy heavy winds. You got the worst records in the league on the worst field in the league. That's the tragic backstory for this hero of a game. For the past 7 years, Brett Hundley's been an NFL backup, playing for the Packers, Seahawks, Cardinals, Colts, Ravens. He got his first start, and right away you can tell that dude's seen a lot of football. He took command of the offense. Like, he wasn't sped up so easily in the pocket, and he drove Vegas straight down the field for a quick and easy score. Ben DiNucci, former Cowboys backup, leads the league in passing, but when your team is 0-2, it's like nobody really cares. But in this one, he had not only his best game of the season, but the best game by any quarterback in the XFL this year. Bro, the big plays in this one was a constant occurrence as the offense of both teams finally looked in rhythm. Morgan Ellison was toting, bro. Dude was going in the whole game. Though he did sustain an injury towards the end, let's hope he's good. When Ben DiNucci found Josh Gordon for his first touchdown of the game, all of a sudden Seattle's offense just took on a different swag. Bro, look at this ball placement in the back corner of the end zone. You only need 1 foot in this league, but a real receiver's getting 2. But there's one thing that aggravates me every time I watch this team, and that's the fact that they never move Josh Gordon around, which makes it easier for the defense to key in on him. The middle of the field be wide open, and it's much easier to deliver these passes. And it could be the defense just widening out since Josh Gordon's on the outside. But if he goes in motion and runs out of the slot, I think the defense will be slow to adjust. That would make getting him the ball a whole lot easier, so DiNucci don't have to throw a dime like this one every time. They tried to throw him a lot of smoke screens to get him the ball quick. Bro, send that man in motion and take advantage of all the space. So 7 minutes to go, Vegas hits another big play. A wheel route out the backfield and the running back does his job. Ben DiNucci drives right back down and scores once again. Goes for 3 to take the lead, but is unable to do it. He actually missed a wide open Josh Gordon on this one, so they don't get the lead, but he wouldn't make that mistake again. They get a stop and get the ball back, and then it all comes down to this. 4th down, 1 minute left, 65 yards from the end zone. 0 timeouts and 0 chance to win unless you're lucky enough to have number 0 on your team. Due to down and distance, Vegas decides to play super aggressive. They go 1 high safety and they press both corners. Now, given the situation, you can understand the call, but it set up the most exciting play of the entire season.
DiNucci takes a shot upfield to Gordon. Gordon caught it. Gordon's backstepping. Gordon's gonna score.
So on the back of their biggest star, the Sea Dragons get their first win. I'm happy for them. They deserved it, though I do feel bad for Vegas. I want to talk a little more about Josh Gordon individually, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. Now, if you want to attend one of these XFL games, you can do so using today's sponsor, SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek's the #1 ticketing app, with over 70,000 events to choose from every single day. This includes festivals, concerts, and live sporting events. Maybe Josh Gordon's coming to an arena near you. And with the XFL season now in full swing, running alongside the NBA and NHL, there's a whole lot of options for tickets right now. It's a great time to find tickets that won't cost you a fortune. To make sure you get the best deal, don't forget about the little color coding, as green deals are good and red deals are bad. Also, every ticket on SeatGeek's backed by a buyer guarantee. They're the only site that lets you return tickets with a feature called swaps. So if you're interested, man, use my code FlemLo and that'll save you $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase by using my promo code FlemLo. Click the link in the description and download the app. And thanks to SeatGeek once again for sponsoring. Let's get it. I gotta say, it's really a joy to watch Josh Gordon play football, cause we barely got to see him in the NFL due to suspension. It's dope seeing him on the field balling out and having fun, without the constraints that pushed him out the NFL. Now first, I want to give a real quick shout out to Quincy Carrier. He covers the Browns here on YouTube and he's cold at what he does. Him being a Browns fan, he offers some good insight on Josh Gordon. If you didn't know, Josh spent his prime years with the Browns. Yeah man, Josh Gordon can still help an NFL team in the right role. This is 2013 Josh Gordon we seeing today. What's been more impressive is his effort level when tasked to run block. He's more committed to it now than at any point in Cleveland. His body language looks completely different too. He seems to have found peace, and you just gotta love that. He's right, I agree, that's exactly how it looks. And that's the reason I'm saying dude's such a joy to watch. It's not just because he's talented, it's because he's into it. He's bought in, he's playing hard, he ain't out there pointing fingers. He's not out there loafing like he's too good for the league or like throwing a temper tantrum every time he don't get the ball. Check out this sideline interview we did after his first touchdown. He just sounds like a man who is in a good space.
Josh, you told me before the game you had those good feet. What was working for you on that touchdown?
From the space, the good feet, the good ball, about being most importantly, but I want to come out here and make a play, try to put us in the game, and we got a little bit more time left, so we'll see what we can do.
You've been standing up cheering your offense on, your defense on. How much fun are you having in the XFL?
It's the most fun I had in a while. They let me be a part of it. They let me be myself, so I enjoy that. Coach he's a great part of it too. It's a good group of guys, just got to get out here and get a dub.
Zooming out a little bit, looking at the league as a whole, it wasn't just that one game that was great in week 3. So out of 4 games, 3 went down to the wire, 2 shootouts and 1 game that was more of a defensive struggle. We returned to DC and I'm happy to report the Beer Snake made its way back to the game as well. Last week, or actually maybe it was in week 1, but security took the Beer Snake away from the fans. But I guess the XFL kind of came to their senses. This is the XFL culture, it's more fun and more raw. AJ McCarron's gaining a rep as the XFL's comeback king, but could he really pull it off 3 weeks in a row? With 30 seconds left, St. Louis defense gets a turnover. It gives McCarron life as he throws his 4th touchdown of the game. They go for 2 and they get it. 22 seconds left. And this is where the XFL rules make it fun. Remember, if you're trailing or it's tied in the 4th, you can opt to use that interesting onside kick alternative. You get a 4th and 15 from your own 35. If you get it, you keep the ball. If you don't get it, you lose. In week 1, McCarron converted and drove his team down to win the game. And here's a clip of AJ trying to tap into the magic once again.
For DC, 6 players aligned on the 40-yard line. 1 snap, 4th and 15, McCarron's pressure, and he's dropped.
Oh well, not this time I guess. You couldn't have possibly thought he was gonna do this every single week. We almost got a last-second lead change in Orlando versus Arlington, but the ball came out of Lance Lenore's hands at the last second. And while it seems like Houston handled San Antonio pretty easily, San Antonio was on the goal line with like 4 minutes left in the game. If they scored that touchdown, it could have went either way. But Houston gets to stop and pull off another victory. By the way, bro, Houston has still never lost a game. Not just this season, I'm talking this whole XFL era. That was 5-0 in 2020 when the league got shut down by COVID. Now they're 3-0 this season and Brandon Silvers is heating up. Their defense carried them early, now their offense is starting to click. They're the de facto defending champions and the top contenders for this season. But DC is nice as well, and St. Louis is clutch. Or Seattle can go on a run. They could easily be 3-0. But it makes for a compelling season as things continue to unfold. Teams are starting to find their rhythm. They didn't have a preseason. It's the first time these rosters have been together, and it takes a couple weeks before it starts to look cohesive. You saw it this past week as teams started to find identities. And since there's not just one dominant team, it makes the league better as a whole. But week 3 in the XFL was easily the best so far. Looking forward to week 4. Hopefully they keep it going. But that's all I got today, man. I'll catch y'all in the next one. And if you just now tuning in, I did week 1 and week 2 as well. So you can check those out if you want to. They're popping up on the screen now.